Hey there, Soul Shines, it's Michelle here, and it is a creative expressions video. A video in which I talk about things I've finished, things I'm working on, plans for the coming up. We talk about life updates, and I have a doozy today. And just whatever comes to mind. And I always have chapter links here, and despite what Mary says, I am letting you skip forward if you don't want to watch everything. Mary told me last night, she's like, no, don't say that. Just let them watch the whole thing. But I am going to leave the chapter links. If you want to skip ahead, you can. If you want to watch, you can. All that kind of thing. So here's my little intro-y thingy I made. It's cheesy, I know, but it's okay. Before we get started with all of the things, I invite you to hook the subscribe button, like the video, and leave some yarn, aka a comment, down below. You can leave yarn emojis, you can say hi, you can tell me what you're working on, you can tell me what's going on in your lives, if you have updates, all the things. So I did mention that I taught to Mary, so she was having some technical difficulties, and so I sent her my phone number, and we talked on the phone for quite a while last night, and it was so much fun. She is such a delightful person. A lot of people know her as Will Work for Yarn, and somehow she engaged me in a new project, and I'm kind of excited about it. So there will be some information on that. If you would like to work along with us, you can. So I'll talk about it for a minute. So we're doing, what is it called? Let me see if I still have it pulled up. Mosaic in a Month is the name of the pattern, and if I can find a picture of it, I will put it here. I will definitely put a link to it, but it is hosted by Juniper and Oaks, and it was a make-along, a crochet along that she did last month, I think. Hey, no! Hold on. I think I have another alarm in 15 minutes. We'll deal with it when it comes up. Okay, so the cowl is hosted by Juniper and Oaks. She worked with 10 other designers to create this blanket, and it is mosaic crochet. Now, I have actually never done mosaic crochet. I watched a couple of videos a few years back, and I thought it was a really fun idea. So I know that it will be pretty easy. You just single crochet with one color, and then the next one you do a bit of single crochets and double crochets to do your design and stuff. So yeah, she's got tutorials. There's other tutorials. Sorry, I haven't actually been out for very long. I recorded my Things We Make It Thursday on a Friday video, and here I am. Second video of the day. My only talking has been to you guys. So yeah, we're gonna do that. We're working on getting our yarns together now. So you are welcome to join us as we figure it out. And if you want to share your progress, if you want to participate, you can send me progress updates through email. We might be doing, some get together and chat kind of things on Zoom or something. We'll see. And if so, we might invite you. We haven't talked about that part. We talked about getting together on Zoom, and then I was thinking about it. I was like, I wonder if we could invite other people. So we'll see. Haven't talked about that yet. I'm not going to just put it out there. I'm sure she would love it because she just loves the idea of meeting new friends and stuff. So that is that. That was kind of I guess kind of a life update, kind of a project plan kind of thing. It was really fun to talk to Will Work for Yarn. She is a delightful person. So let me talk about finished objects. I'm pretty sure the only thing I've finished is my steering wheel thing, and I will have to put a picture because I finished it and put it on the car because I needed it. So I did make that one. This one I did the knitting for the main body, and then on the edges I did single crochets around the elastic to crochet it on. Now I did make kind of a formula style video. It might be a little bit rambly, I don't know, but I did make a tutorial for that, so I'll link it in the iCards and make sure it's down below. So if you do want to go watch the tutorial to make your own, you can. I used the Chanel yarn that's from the Dollar Tree. And apparently one of my friends would love it if I make her one, and I might, because her birthday's in September. And I might get it done and then say, here's your early birthday present, if I get it done early enough. It will be nice even for winter if I don't want to wear gloves to have the warm yarn on there to prevent me touching directly into the cold. And then also it's nice for the summer because you don't have the hot steering wheel. Although I am finding it's a little bit on the warm side because we don't have air conditioning in our van. It is what it is. It's okay. Yeah, also sometimes I come away with little fuzzies because it sometimes sheds a little. Oh well, if it sheds a lot, then I will make a new one, and that's fine. And I do know that some Chanels are actually less shedding than others, so maybe not a Dollar Tree yarn. What else? I'm pretty sure that's my only finished object for this week, because I did finish the octopus and send it. My granddaughter loved it, but I'm pretty sure I talked about that already. I know I did because I put a picture in, and I actually uploaded. Oh my gosh, guys. Seriously. I had made the video, and then I went to upload last week's video, and I was like, wait a minute. Where is my video from last week? And I had not uploaded it. I felt so silly. But I needed to upload it for two reasons. One, because I had recorded it, and two, because I had referenced it. So, yeah, they're both up there now. One just was very late. Really, just charge. For whatever reason, my phone is doing I need a new cord. Or maybe it wants me to pay attention to whoever sent me a message. I don't know. I'll be right back. Okay, phone is not currently charging. It is here because I do know I will have to address it in a few minutes anyway. Oh, I guess I could put it on silent too. So, whips. Haven't worked on that, but hope to be starting that really soon. So, my grandson's cardigan. It's being knit. I've got this far on it, and I'm definitely pulling that out this week to work on it. Now that I've got the cow cozies and my granddaughter's stuff, the only thing left I have to make is seahorses for my subscriber, and I have to say I have renewed energy for that, so those might be showing up again. It would be really fun to be able to send her a bunch. Have not worked on my scarf. Have not made any little socks. Oh, I should though. I have been working on that. So, I don't know if you can see progress, but I worked on it quite a bit last night. I thought about it after the fact. Should have pulled it out and worked on it while I was on the phone. For nearly 2 hours. It was like an hour and 40 minutes. It was great. I loved it. I don't normally like talking on the phone for a long time, but it was really good. It was. So there I got my scarf. It's all scrunchy on the things. probably it's all still knotted, but when I get to the end of this skein, I think what I'm going to do is put it out on my things that hold it out. Put it on that stuff that Shannon suggested. All I know is what I have is pink. It's a little cord thing, tube that you stick on the end of your thing, and then you slide your stitches on, and you can see how big it is. So, and when I get to the end of this, then I'm going to do that, take a picture of it, unless I'm in video space, and then I can just make a quick video of it and show you guys. But that's what I'm going to do. For now, to show you, to get sort of an estimate of size, I can go holding the center, holding out this to see the diameter. So we go kind of like that. It's still, this is great. This yarn has a little stretch to it. It's really fun. So I'm really excited about this. This is going to be so, so pretty. I did joke about, hey, if I wanted to, I could just, turn it into a bag right now and have like one of those rounded bags. But I don't want to do that. I want a shawl. I want to be able to wear this at Christmas time, at Valentine's, and for the next 4th of July if I'm outside and it's chilly, which this year was not. No, it wasn't. But even more so, the last 2 weeks we've had a heat wave. It's been ridiculous. Anyway, so yeah, I've been making progress on it. I have been pulling this out and working on it. Did a whole bunch last night. But when you get to a point where you're going so far around, because like now one section is this long, and every row, well, between 2 rows there's a decrease. I guess between 2 rows you get 1 increase by the time you do your decreases, but because there are increases to make the holes, the eyelet holes, and then there is some decreases to help make this little ridge right here. So between it all, you get 1 per section every round, so which means that, or every 2 rounds, because it takes 2 rounds to make the whole pattern repeat. And then there are 8 sections, so every 2 rounds it grows by 8 stitches. So it grows and it gets wider between here, and it's harder to see progress, because what used to take, you do the same number of stitches, but it was growing like this, so it was really easy to see the progress. Now you're doing that same number of stitches, but you've gone 1 row, 1 round, whatever. But I'm really excited about it. It's really fun. Yeah, it's gonna be so pretty and so fun. So got that. I have not made any more dishcloths. A part of me wants to, and a part of me is like, oh, I've got so much going on. I just added myself a project this week. It's great. Actually, I added myself 2 projects because I'll tell you right now before I go on with the other project I made. Hold on, I'm going to hurry and mark this is complete. I've already shared it. I've talked about it. Where's the thing? Finished object. Yay. Okay, that takes it off of being shown on my list. So I've worked on the temperature socks. We've had some high temperatures this week, so far my high has been 103 for the year. Yay. And if I was in Salt Lake County, it would have been 105. It's amazing that just 35 minutes away, everything's different. But, so my daughter, she uses the little cotton round things for her face and stuff. Makeup remover, she uses witch hazel, so she'll use that to do witch hazel all over. And she wants to try having me make some little cotton yarn that she can wash and reuse to see if those will work for her. just to save on money and that kind of thing, to be more sustainable. So I will be making some of those. She doesn't care what color they are, so I'm not sure where my soft white yarn is, but I have some soft brown yarn that I just used for the cow cozy, and so I can just quickly go and make up one. I told her I'd make crochet and I would make knit. She could decide if she liked one or the other, and then if it's not tight or loose enough, I can try again until we get the perfect size, perfect everything, and then I'll just make her a bunch. So that's another project that got added on. That one shouldn't be too hard. The other one's not going to be hard. It's just going to take time. So yeah, I mentioned the seahorses up here. I told you I had an alarm coming. That's my alarm to get kids up, so we'll do that when I get done here. So seahorses, I have made 2, and that's where I stopped. But like I said, just a lot of changes in my life, and just got some more renewed energy, so I think I'll be making some more of those very soon, hopefully. I really would love to get like 1 or 2 done a week, but we'll see how life treats me. I have not been doing anything for random acts of kindness. I do not have the tithing hat on here. This was the last one I had made right here, green. I don't know where my project is right now. I think it's out in the other room. I'm using a navy blue yarn for that one. I don't remember if I did a 1x1 or a 2x2 ribbing. This one's a 2x2. But I know I started with more stitches because this one, it was kind of an accident, but it's still fine. I started with more stitches, and I think I did about that much for the ribbing, a little bit longer ribbing, but it's a navy blue, and I will be sure to have it here to show you next time. But it is out in the other room, so I have been working on that. I'm excited to be making hats again. I'll tell you, I know why some people end up homeless. I don't know about everybody, but as I've gone through some pretty hard things in my life, there have been times when I've been nearly homeless, and the hopelessness that I felt, and I was like, I don't have words for how easy it would have been to become hopeless and then homeless. There's a lot of reasons why people are out on the streets, but I know that sometimes it's just that things are so hard and you're so overwhelmed and you don't know which way to go. And the only reason that I'm not homeless is because my church has been very, very generous to me. It's been hard. It's very hard. And the people like, do this, do this, do this. Well, there's a lot of factors to consider, and there's mental health, there's physical health, there's what other responsibilities are going on. I've had some chronic illnesses, and I have an injury that I'm finally starting to feel isn't as impeding me, and it's been 4.5 years. It's been such a long journey to recovery, and the outside world doesn't see that. They just see, you should be doing this, you should be doing that, you should be doing this, but there's so many factors involved, and I just realized how easy it would have to become homeless, and that makes me sad. And I know it's not the same for everybody, because I know that also if drugs get involved, that's even a whole nother level. But so I'm actually really grateful to be able to pass the hats out, or to give them away, because I do realize that it's not always a cut and dry choice to be homeless. There are some people that choose it. There are some people that their behavior and choices with drugs choose it. There are kids that choose it because they just can't stand being at home anymore, and they may get stuck there, or they may get off the streets. It's hard to say. There's things like a family loses a job and they just don't have people to turn to. They end up there. There's just so many reasons why. And so it helps my heart to make the hats for them. I may make other donation things. That's fine. I call them tithing hats because they're things that I do on Sunday to donate some of my time, to some of my yarn making time, for giving away, to say, basically to express my gratitude to God that I have the ability to make things, that I have the resources, that there are times, like I've had people give me yarn. I've had times when I could buy yarn, and so I have yarn. There are so many resources, and the fact that I have skills and I can use my two hands to make beautiful things to share with people. So there's that. Yeah. Okay. I have not worked on my centerpiece, but that's more of a just, it has not been a priority to me. And then my skirt has been on hold, and I will share an update on that later. The napkins, I have not done any more sewing on the napkins either, so they're still there. Yeah. So guess I'm already crying a little bit talking about my donations. Let's talk about my life update. Sometimes it's easier to talk about than others. And sometimes it's easier to handle than others. I've talked a lot about grief in the last couple of weeks. I've done a lot of healing that was lingering from my mom's passing. Our dog Sneakers passed away. We had a very hard week. As he was losing function, he stopped eating. He stopped drinking. It was so hard. And because it was reminding me so much of my mom, it was really hard to function enough to even make decisions. I hardly slept for days. I kept looking at him to see if he was breathing throughout the day, throughout the night. And that reminded me of watching my mom before we put her in the hospital. Of watching to see if she was breathing. And it was terrifying then, and it was so sad this last week. And when my mom was in the hospital, they said, you need to make a decision. You need to decide to put her in hospice. And I was like, you can't ask me to do that. You can't ask me to kill my mom. Even though in many ways there wasn't really anything we could do for her. It was so hard. And then watching the dog, and I'm like, do I euthanize him? Do I think there's some way to save him? I don't know. And it was so hard. So I spent a lot of time on Monday just truly getting healing on it, healing about it being my fault, about healing about all these things. It was just, did a lot of healing to where on Tuesday I finally reached out to a friend and said, I cannot make this I just cannot make the phone calls necessary to find out if I can even find a place, if I can afford it or whatever. So she said she would, but by the time she got back to me, it was so late in the day, there was no way. And I knew that we didn't have time because, yeah, he passed away probably between 6:30 and 7 in the morning on Wednesday. My son and I did not sleep. My son held him for most of the night. It was so hard. So very, very hard. And I dozed off and my son turned to video games when he passed. And I kind of knew that he would wait until we weren't actually paying attention to finally go. And it wasn't a big freak out when I saw that he wasn't breathing. We were kind of almost in numb autopilot for a minute. Noticed he wasn't breathing, wrapped him up in his blanket, went to get family, and then broke down in sobs. So, yeah. He would have been 14 years old in August. His breed, he was a half breed, half poodle, half something else. I'm not really sure. We got him when he was a year old. I never quite figured out what his other breed was. He was a fairly small dog. When he weighed his full amount, he was like 15 pounds. If that, he was just he wasn't too small, but he was still a small dog. And we've had him for 13 years. He's been a part of our family for 13 years. My son he sobbed so much. And I've sobbed so much over the last week. And my friend, she has like some farming land. So we went down and dug up the grave and buried him. It was good for my son to put some of that, all those feels into his work, to get some of that out physically. And he found a rock that was like a heart shape that had like a little chip out of it as he was digging. And I thought that was just perfect. And he put it on top of the grave. So yeah, that is our major life update. And I knew that grieving a pet would be hard, but I didn't realize how hard. And even my daughter that didn't like the dog, she grieved. She said she remembers more. She's grieving the memories of before. So before when he was younger and he would play with us and a lot of things, she was grieving that. Plus for her, it was also reminding her how he used to sit at my mom's feet. So there was some overlapping grief for her as well. And I know that's the case for all of us. Because my mom and that dog, I had to train him not to sleep on the bed because she let him sleep on her bed. And when he slept with her, he slept at her feet, he wandered around with her, followed her everywhere. When she passed away, he started following me around like that. So we're finding peace slowly, because it's only been a couple of days. It was so hard coming home. Pulled up in the driveway, and my son and I both heard sounds as if he'd pushed against the door, like he always did, because he would, come up against the door and it would kind of push it and make a sound. And he would yelp when we took too long to come in, and we both heard it, and we both sobbed. I couldn't sleep in my room the first night because I haven't slept alone in 4.5 years. And last night was so wrong too. Just things are just wrong. We go into a space and he's not there. When I know that I'm taking my kids to their dad's tonight, and if I spent the night somewhere, I wouldn't have to worry about if the dog was taken care of. That's just wrong. It's so wrong. So there's a lot of adjusting we're doing. A lot of tears. We've had some good times. There's some form of relief in a way, because he was so old that every morning we'd have to go see if he'd peed anywhere in the house. And there's the financial responsibilities that are no longer there when it comes to him, and it wasn't a lot. And then I don't have to make dog food anymore, because I would make dog food because he didn't really like the dry dog food. So we kind of did a mix just to stave off some of the things and effort. So there's like this little bit of relief of the constant not taking care of him. But the reality is I don't really feel relief. I just feel so much loss. And yeah, it's hard. And it is hard like losing my mom, but in a different way. So that is my life update. Somehow we managed to have a good time yesterday. I had my son use Ho'oponopono. So I said, I want you to imagine you take all of this grief that you're feeling and put it in a ball of energy. And then I want you to say these sentences. And I always add a sentence to Ho'oponopono, but I'm going to write them up on the thing. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I forgive you. Thank you. I love you. And I said, you keep repeating those words until that ball of energy is gone. And yeah, he's still going to feel sadness, and he's still going to feel things, but the overwhelming, unable to do anything grief has now been removed from him. And my other daughter, we had her use a scribble technique, which I've shared before. It's called neurographica, and you kind of really bring to mind what's bothering you, and you put it down on the paper in scribbles, and you go through and you round the corners, and then you do something where you bring the lens out, and the whole part of it is both to get it out, but then also to rewire the neurographic things that came from a I think it was a psychologist. I don't know. Somebody in some kind of a scientific way in Russia. It came from there, and it is a very powerful tool. It's I used to use it a lot, and I haven't used it in a while, but I felt strongly that my daughter needed to use it. I left my boys home and took my girls to a friend's house where we did some energy healing, and then we didn't necessarily do much on us, but just that service that I was giving to them really helped me to kind of get out of myself and get out of thinking about myself and my own pain, to be able to benefit and serve. Was really good for me. And then got to talk to Mary last night, and that was just a delight. And then my daughters made up a game and we're playing with each other, but then it turned, for some reason, the last couple days, my daughter's been singing Down by the Bay, and then she'll stop to wait to see what my mama will say. She's like, "What are you going to say, Mom?" And last night they started singing it, and then they would put in all the little phrases like, "Would you fill up my water?" Or, how does that make you feel? Or, what are you going to do with that? And like, they just would go through, and like some of the phrases that I say frequently, they would start putting in it until we got sick of the song. And then we just stopped doing the song, but just kept saying what I would say. And then we got to a point where we turned it on some of the others and said some of the things that they would say. And it was just a lot of fun, a lot of laughter. And laughter is so healing. So I'm so grateful it happened. But yeah, that's our life right now. Yesterday had so much like need to clean, but also wasn't feeling well. Bit on the dehydrated side, and was dizzy, but I just felt like this need. We started cleaning, and just felt the need to get some things cleaned up. And I'm planning to do some more today. I'm hoping to finish dishes and sweep and mop the kitchen. We'll see how it goes. Yeah. Maybe get another seahorse done, or start in another thing. I'm not sure. We'll see how it all goes. But yeah. Anyway. Remember to let your light shine through your creations, whatever they be. And even when you have hard times, it doesn't stay hard. It may take time. You may have to go through a lot of big feelings. But please, please hold on to hope. And please reach out to people who can help you through your loss and grief, or whatever other hard things. I believe there's always an answer and always some help. You just gotta find the right help. And it may not make the problem go away. I'm not bringing the dog back. But I have tools to help me navigate it so it doesn't end me. So it doesn't get so bad. So I don't feel so overwhelmed. So that I can process my feelings as they come up. And sometimes put the feelings away for a while. I had to when my mom died. I had to put a lot of feelings on the shelf. And I had spent years, feel your feelings whenever they come up. You gotta process your feelings whenever they come up. And when my mom died, I got asked, "Who told you you had to feel them all right now?" And I just went, "Oh." And I was like the spirit asking me. I heard this voice asking me. And so I put a lot of the feelings on the shelf, and some of them were dealt with this last week. And they come up so that I can heal them and deal with them a little bit slower. So if you are dealing with things, please reach out. I would love to see if any of the tools that I have could help you. Try the Ho'oponopono bubble thing that I talked about with my son. I did put one of the sentences in a different color. That's the one I added. I find it super helpful to add that. But anyway, I just want to say, remember to let your light shine through your creations, and I'll see you guys next time.